Hey guys, how are you all doing today? So, today I thought let's create a few Python programs, very simple, very basic programs to run within Python. And we're going to essentially create three different beginner friendly programs. These are very basic, by the way, because I'm a beginner myself. Let's start off with the most universally basic, like universally agreed upon basic command, hello world. So we start off with print. This is basically going to display whatever we put within the brackets. It's going to display it on the console. This is the console right here. We start off with hello world. If we run this, hello world, awesome. Now let's ask the user to input something, right? Make it a little more interactive. Let's ask the user to input their name. So we're going to put name is equal to what is your name? Space. Let's make this a little more friendly. Hello, comma, what is your name? And then print. We're now going to basically use, what is that? Something called fstring. So what we want is we want Python to print a message acknowledging the user's input, which is the name, but we also want to display the name, right? So we're going to use a method called fstring. You'll know what that is in a moment. Hello, comma, name. So essentially what is happening here is we ask the user to input their name, or not yet, input, there we go. Okay. So now basically what's happening is we ask the user to input their name. We ask them this question, and whatever they input as the answer will be stored in the variable name. And then we'll ask Python to print this message, hello, comma. This is basically going to substitute whatever is in the variable name. So whatever the user inputs will be displayed here. Let's give it a shot. It'll be easier to understand then. So we run the program. It asks, hello, what is your name? I'm going to input Bob. Hello, Bob. Awesome. Now let's go up one more notch. And now we're going to ask the user not just to input their name, but also to solve an equation. For that, first I'm gonna make a little more space. And for that, we're gonna create another variable called add. Add is equal to integer input. So, comma, and once again, we're gonna use fstring. Wherever we wanna input the user's name, we're going to use fstring to do that. Name, so Bob, what is 2 plus 2 is equal to? Perfect. So now it's going to essentially ask the user to input the answer to 2 plus 2. Now, we don't just want the user to answer it. We want the program to then check whether what the user has said is correct. Let's give that a shot. So now we're going to add an if condition. If add is equal to 4, colon, 2 equal to signs means that the program is going to expect just the number 4, nothing else. Anything else will be wrong. If add is 4, so if whatever the user has answered will be stored in this variable, and then Python is going to check what is stored in this variable. If what is stored is 4, we'll print a message saying once again, fstring, very good, Bob, sorry, that is absolutely correct, exclamation point, but every if condition comes with an else. So now we're going to add the else condition, which is, so what happens if the user doesn't input a 4? In that case, we'll say Uh-oh. Sorry, Bob. That is incorrect. Please educate yourself and come back. A little passive aggressive. Let's give it a shot. What is your name? Bob. Bob, what is 2 plus 2? 4. Very good, Bob. That is absolutely correct. Great. So far it's working perfectly. Now let's run it again to see what it says. Bob, what is 2 plus 2? I'm going to input 6. Uh-oh. Sorry, Bob. That is incorrect. Please educate yourself and come back. But that's just whole numbers. What happens if I put a decimal? Let's say 4.5. What then? Let's give that a shot. Bob, 2 plus 2. I'm going to put 4.5. Oops. So here we see an error message. Why is that? Well, the reason for this error message is here. So in this add variable, we are expecting Python to input an integer. An integer is any number, essentially, right? So what happens is, in this variable, when we ask it to answer a question, Python is expecting a whole number. There is a difference in Python between an integer, which would be a whole number, and a float, which is a number with a decimal point. So when we ask it to input integer input, Python's only going to expect whole numbers, not decimals. And that's why you see this error. If we change this integer to, say, float, now we run it, you're going to see what happens. Bob. Now we're not going to get that error message. What is 2 plus 2? 4.5. Uh-oh. Sorry, Bob, that is incorrect. So when we input float, keep in mind, when you say float, it still works with whole numbers. So Bob, if I say 6, right? When you say float, Python will expect either an integer, which is a whole number, or a number with a decimal point. But if you say integer, it's only going to accept whole numbers, not numbers with decimal points. So, guys, I hope this was helpful. And thank you very much for watching. I'm going to see you in the next video. Take care.